Welcome back to the Intersint podcast. My name is Mike.
I'm Kenese.
So something happened today where we talked about it in the past, how I don't like to do things that are adult-like because of how frustrating it is and how I just don't want to deal with any of it.
Because you have to jump through so many loops just to get something done.
Exactly. And I'm just like, I could do so much more with my time and I don't have to deal with the stress and the anxiety. So I had to deal with the UPS this morning. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go first thing in the morning. Just going to get in there, get it taken care of, go about my morning. But I thought about it more. I'm like, okay, so they open at 8:30. Don't want to get there exactly at 8:30. I want to give them a little bit more time. So I'm like, not the first customer and I'm not annoying them right away. Had this whole planned out in my head. And first off, I get there. I'm the only one in the building whenever I walk in. So I'm like, cool, good for me. And the guy is high out of his mind.
Wait, really?
Has to be. He has to be. He's standing behind the counter, blankly staring at the front door. Like, so I walk in like, am I supposed to be here right now? Because you look shocked to even see me.
Wait, did you tell him that?
No.
Aw.
So I go and I'm trying to find the envelope to send it out.
Mm-hmm.
I tell him I just need a tracking label. He seems excited. He's like, yeah, cool, let's do this. I'm like, cool, we're going to be in and out maybe 5 minutes tops. So I'm giving him all the information, and the information I need to send this out to the place I need to send it to is more than the lines available on the UPS computer to print the label.
How? Why? What?
Because it's an institute thing that I'm sending it to, so it's like the company name, then for the benefit of me, and then here's my account number, and then it needs a mail slot number, then a PO box number, and then the address at the very bottom. And it's all this stuff, and he's confused because there's so much stuff. He's like, I don't know how to fit this all on the label. So we're trying to work it out. Like, okay, how can we do this? What can we do? And then a line starts to form, and people are coming in. They have questions because now they have a bunch of packages. First is one guy. I'm like, cool, we're going to get this knocked out really fast. There's one little hiccup. We're going to get through it. And then a second person comes in, and then immediately a third person, then a fourth, and a fifth person. Now it's all on me, and I have so much anxiety of now I'm holding up all these people in line for my stupid little envelope that I'm trying to just get a tracking number for. So he is trying his best, and I'm just like, he turns the monitor around. We're looking at it together. We're trying to figure it out, which is never a good sign when you're trying to help the employee with like his job, pretty much. So I was just like, you know what? You can help them. There's a lot of people.
Yeah. Just
help these people through. I'll look at the screen. I'm looking at my phone. And I'll try to figure something out, which no employee would even allow that to happen.
Yeah.
But he's like, okay, cool. And then he just goes and starts helping people.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah. Am I an employee now at UPS?
Where's your jacket? Where's my truck?
So now he's like playing ping pong between me and these other people, like coming back like, hey, did you figure something out? You got it? And you good? And I'm like, I don't know what to do in this situation. So we came to a solution, I guess, and we'll see if it even makes it to the place, because not all the information is even on the label that should be.
Yeah.
But the important information is.
I guess that's good.
So it's just missing like one line of an address. And I'm like, I really hope this makes it to where it needs to go. So that was my morning. And it just made me think, this is why I don't do this stuff.
Yeah, I can't say I've never had anything like that happen to me.
I just hate holding people up.
See, the thing is, I wonder if he was just alone opening.
He was by himself.
Yeah, then I kind of feel bad.
Yeah, and I guess these other people had the same idea of let's go early and beat the rush.
Yeah.
It's like, I hate when I'm the reason people are getting held up.
Mm-hmm. Because that happened to me when I was back in high school. Like, I was the only one working the front counter at a Burger King and the drive-thru and fulfilling orders. And I just wanted to cry.
Yep. It's like whenever you're in a shopping or a convenience store and you go to like self-checkout, or something. Or even the if you go to a register.
Yeah.
I'm always, let's be quick, let's be on top of things whenever it's my turn. So I'll go to like a self-checkout and like boom, 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 done, 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 paid, done. Like, and people that were there prior to me starting to check out are still there trying to check out. Like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to make the line even longer because I'm taking forever.
That, and then I just want to be done with it quickly. So I'd rather just do it myself.
Exactly. Even paying with like, have you ever had this when you're trying to check out in a line and the person in front of you, like you already have a bad feeling about it of this is going to be a person that's going to take forever.
Yep.
And then you're like, no, I'm just because they're old, I can't make, like, they're not going to take forever. Maybe they're on top of it. And then they pull out like their checkbook and try to pay with the check. And you're like, motherfucker. I knew it. I knew I should have stereotyped you into this.
That was like me this morning. Like, why are there so many slow people in the mall?
The slow walkers.
Don't be in my way. That's all I ask. If you're going to walk slow, just stay off to the side.
It's so nice when we're out somewhere, hanging out, because you walk the same speed as me. So we can just like zip and zoom our way around all the people and like we're power walking our way through. I agree. Even if when you're shopping, the people who are just taking their dandy old time, pushing their cart and like it's a spectacle and they're like looking down at everything and like taking their time and like move out of the way so I can get my stuff done.
Yeah, really. Or like those people who leave their carts in the middle of the aisle and go far off into the distance.
Yeah.
That's the most annoying shit ever.
Or they're like having a full-on conversation with someone in the aisle and they're taking up the entire aisle. Like be on the same side so people can get by you or something.
I have the urge every single time to like just tell them off. But then being the person I am just wants to also let it go and be the bigger person.
I'm the exact same way. Especially like you said, when they leave their cart full of stuff, I just want to take it and just push it down and like away into another aisle. And like, you go deal with that somewhere else. But then the good angel on my shoulder is like, no, just move it out of the way a little bit.
Or when they realize and just apologize like profusely. And then I feel bad.
Kind of, but it's like, just be on top of it in the first place and then you won't have to apologize.
Yeah. Well, then I guess people just don't realize what they're doing for the most part.
I guess.
I don't know. I don't know how people's mind works.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. Just be aware of what you're doing.
That's like even on the road too, because like I parked and I was walking into the store or like into the mall. This one bitch in a Tesla made a turn, almost ran into me and had like the audacity to like look at me as she drives away. I'm like, bitch. First of all, if you're in a parking lot, the pedestrian has the right of way. Don't fucking try to like run me over and have the audacity to look at me.
And then you're in a Tesla with like 1 million cameras on it.
Exactly.
So how do you not see people behind you?
Not even that. Like I'm a
remix. You got stuck in a loop on that one.
Thank you. Didn't even try. No, but I was saying like I was in front of her.
Oh, okay.
Like it wasn't even like behind. Like she was driving into me.
And she just was almost gonna hit you?
And so I stopped in the middle of like the drive aisle trying to go up the stairs and I let her drive off. And there was another Tesla behind her, so also speeding into me. So I just stood there. I'm like, hit me. You have money.
Yeah, clearly.
I'm like, go ahead. I'll get a payout out of this.
It's ridiculous. And I've had situations too where I'm driving and like someone clearly is driving on the wrong side of...
People have done that by my work so many times. To the point where like, because I remember on Friday we were talking about people who've done that, gone out of the like the restaurants, the drive-thrus from there, go in the complete opposite direction of where traffic is coming from, just to go into like their own side of where they want to go.
Yeah, I just had that happen to me this morning too.
Like what goes on in these people's heads?
I just impatience, I guess. Yeah, I went to go get gas and someone clearly was driving in my side of the road towards us to turn into the parking lot to go get gas.
Wow.
And it happened twice in one morning, and it's never happened to me yet. It was just living out here. I'm like, is this a new thing now that people are just going to be driving on the wrong side of the road?
I guess this is the thing now.
Like with the Tesla thing, with how many sensors are on that and how much they're watching the cars and whatnot, they should see that and be like, okay, we got to pull your license because we have the data to show you clearly don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. But then it's people like that who never get caught.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's people like us who try to do the right thing, but then we get caught.
It's always that thing of where's the cop when you need it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's never around when it's convenient.
Okay, I saw this online, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I thought in my head it was going to be much bigger of a thing than it is. I forget where I saw this, but did you hear about the portal in New York City?
I just heard about this the other day.
I thought it was an actual portal. I'm like, wow, technology really came far with this one.
Guys, we did it.
But I looked it up, and it's apparently just like an art exhibit.
Yeah.
They got shut down very quickly.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, it's a more or less a video call.
It's pretty much a live stream between New York City and Dublin.
Yeah, so you have a giant monitor and you have a camera, and in Dublin they have the same exact thing, and this linked together.
Yeah.
And immediately you're giving humans too much power here.
Mm-hmm. You're trusting a certain demographic to have some sort of etiquette.
Yeah, you have too much faith in humans to be civil.
If anything has taught you anything, is to never trust humans with any sort of live stream or like anything that will be published online.
Oh, this was published online too?
Well, like you could see the live stream online.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that part.
Yeah, so apparently like there was a website going to, and for the first few hours it was all very wholesome and like very innocent. Then that took a turn super quick.
And surprisingly, it wasn't the New Yorkers, from what I remember. It was actually Dublin that was the problem here.
What did you see?
I didn't see much, just through conversation, but wasn't it Dublin who was making jokes about New York and like the trade centers and stuff?
Yep.
Which it's shocking because I'm like, out of all the people in the world, you would expect the New Yorkers to be the aggressive ones in this situation.
Mm-hmm. But then, did you see like the retaliation for that?
No.
So like some OnlyFans store like flashed her boobies.
Her boobies.
And that's why it got shut down on New York's end.
Of course.
And she's like, oh yeah, I'm a hero. She's like, I have a quote here from her. She's like, a lot of people are mad at me, but a lot of people think I personally saved New York City from the debauchery of the Irish people and thank me for it.
She's being a hero one boob at a time.
She said, she said, well, Dublin showed New York City the Twin Towers, so it was only fair I showed them my Twin Towers to save our city from harassment.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Exactly. I thought the people of Dublin deserved to see my 2 New York homegrown potatoes. I was reading through this and I was dying.
It's crazy too. Like they should feel appreciative since they didn't have to pay for that.
Yeah.
All these other guys had to pay to see those. She's just giving that for free to Dublin.
She did get a lot of subscribers because of that.
There you go. Marketing.
Exactly.
Oh, did you hear about that other OnlyFans? This is old news, I think, at this point. Which is weird in internet history or internet time, how like 2 months is old news. Like that happened eons ago at this point. I can't remember her name. Now I gotta do some research. Okay, that so much stuff came up for what I was actually looking for. See, I want to say her name was Ruby Rose, but that's the other lady.
I don't know who any of these people are.
Isn't Ruby Rose the one who just got out of prison?
That's Gypsy Rose.
Gypsy Rose. That's so it might be actually Ruby Rose.
Who the hell's that?
I don't know, some OnlyFans girl.
Oh.
I think.
You think. Sure. Okay.
I don't know. Anyways, there's this whole thing of like, there's a guy who was obsessed with her, and she posted all these texts of like this guy, like, oh, can I meet up with you? And then he actually found her in real life to get a picture with her. And then he got a tattoo of her face on his leg.
That's scary.
Yeah. And it turned out to be this whole marketing ploy. Like, he was paid by her to do all this stuff.
Oh.
And he's paid money to get a tattoo on his, like, the tattoo was real. It could have easily been photoshopped, but they decided to make it real.
Or temporary tattoo, because you can customize those now.
Mm-hmm. So now he's left with this permanent tattoo for a marketing ploy.
That's hilarious.
But from what you're saying, like, too, her OnlyFans apparently shot up after that whole thing.
Yeah. And now I'm just contemplating my life decisions.
There's no way to phrase this the best way, but it's always crazy how you can have these people trying their hardest to be creators, whether it's like YouTube and like artistic.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have this other girl who's like, I'll show you my boobs. And she's a millionaire by the age of like 22.
Hell yeah, cool. I like how from Tesla we got to this.
I know. But I heard too that isn't he planning on doing more portals? Because it's an artist who did this.
It is, yeah. I guess at this point he's like, I don't know if I want to. If it's just going to get shut down in like an hour, there's really no point for him to like do that.
I can't even imagine how much time or money that would cost.
Exactly. I was going to say that. Like, how much would it even cost to get something set up like this?
This is one of those things that if you told me, hey, we need to make a portal between the two, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Mm-hmm. In my head, it would have been like the video game.
Yeah, okay, first we need a gun. But also, speaking of things that we talked about at work, I found out recently that not everyone can frown. Like, you think of a frown.
Right. And it's just, I can't.
Like, do one right now. Do a frown right now.
Okay.
And yeah, so you do more of a pout. It is not really a frown. I went around to so many people just randomly saying, hey, frown for me. And they're all very confused. And it's one of those things of, I thought it was just a thing every human could do, but apparently not.
Frown for me then. You're kind of pouting.
No, my bottom lip doesn't go out. Your bottom lip like shoots out, which is what a lot of people do whenever I say that.
Oh, okay.
And it was just crazy. I'm thinking, what else is there that humans do that they think is normal, but it isn't normal?
Or like it's a forced reaction. Like you have to force yourself to do it. Like it's not a natural ability to like frown the way you do. People have to control certain parts of their face to do it.
Right, yeah. We all know like the folding your tongue is one that you're either born with it or you're not.
Right.
And it made me wonder, what else is there that someone out there is doing? And they're like, oh, everyone can do this. Oh, it's like those people who don't have thoughts.
People who don't have thoughts. Okay.
Or not thoughts. It's the people who don't have...
They don't have a little voice in your head. When you think of something silently, like there's like a little voice.
They don't have that, or they can't see images in their brain when they're thinking about something.
Like if I tell you to imagine an apple.
All right. I can see an apple in my head. And there's people who can't.
That's crazy.
So I forget, this blew up a while back too, of someone coming to the realization that they can't see images in their head. And they always thought it was just a figure of speech.
Oh.
Because to them, it was normal that you couldn't see anything.
Right.
So then there was one day of like, oh, I have this weird, rare thing of not being able to imagine things in my head.
That's interesting. Because like, that goes back to like what I've told you about like the 8D audio.
8D audio. Honestly, I don't even remember you telling me this.
I'll send you a video I saw, but it like echoes through your ear or like in each headphone.
Oh, that one you showed me. Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like somebody's like scratching an itch in my brain. It just feels so good to me.
It gave me so much anxiety. You showed me that and I'm like, I don't like this one bit.
It gave me a sense of calmness. Maybe I'm neurodivergent.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, this is nice to listen to.
It feels like somebody's there just itching my brain.
No.
It feels good. I didn't know that part could be itched.
Thank you. The part I was always trying to reach with my Q-tip.
It reminds me of that one friend's quote that you have to stop when there's resistance.
I never really watched Friends.
I know you haven't. The people who have watched Friends, you'll get this reference. It's when Joey's just saying something really stupid and Chandler's like, you have to stop the Q-tip when there's resistance. I'm just thinking the resistance is the good part.
I'm terrified of that every time I use a Q-tip.
Really?
I don't want to stem. I have problems with my ears to begin with. I don't want to cause more harm.
That is true. Hey, the eargasm feels good.
That's true. Which, yeah, that's another thing we rediscovered relatively recently.
What?
How there's different reactions to Q-tips in your ears. Remember that?
No.
You sent it to me.
Did I?
Yeah. It was people either feel nothing, like it's, oh, I'm just cleaning my ears, or it feels really, really good, or it makes people cough or sneeze or something like that.
I feel like I do remember now.
Yeah. I feel like I'm the first one where it's just I'm just cleaning my ears and there's not much out of it.
To me, it's between the first and the second one. If I get and Q-tip users will get this, there are certain brands that suck. There are certain brands that are amazing.
Oh, I agree 100%.
And if you get the amazing brand with ones that are very tightly wound and you shove that in your ear, you will get the best feeling ever. And that is what I live for. If I don't get that, my day is ruined.
There's nothing worse than going to use a Q-tip and then it unravels on you within one swipe.
That thing got stuck in my ear as a kid.
Oh, really?
Deep in. My mom had to take tweezers to pull it out.
Ugh.
And I was just crying the whole time thinking I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this cotton ball in my ear, never being able to hear again.
Aww. I completely agree. If you find a brand that has the tightly wound ends, that's your go-to forever. But there are times when you have an itchy spot in your ear.
Yeah.
And your finger, you just can't get with it with your finger. And I'll use that, and that's when oh yeah, I'm getting it with the Q-tip. It feels so nice.
But going back to crazy people in cars, I think this is just a Seattle thing. I don't know if it's all over. But the Kia Boiz.
You've mentioned this to me. I don't know what that means.
It's a gang of kids who just go around stealing Kias.
Why Kias out of everything you could steal?
Because they're the easiest to break into. They are the lowest end in terms of security.
Wasn't that used to be what, Nissan or something back in the day?
Yeah, Nissan used to be the one that sucked so much, and it still does. But Kia is now up there in Seattle where they're putting out or issuing warnings to people in certain communities of don't, if you have a Kia, don't leave it in a place where it's easily accessible.
Does this go back to that whole TikTok trend of how to break into a Kia and steal it?
I feel like it does.
Oh, okay. Because so people don't know, I own a Kia. And whenever you sent me the text about that whole, hey, there's a trend going around with people stealing Kias because it's easy or something. Every single morning I went down to go to work, I was just today might be the day where I don't have a car waiting for me in the garage.
It's funny because now you have a little sticker in your window saying this thing is more secure.
Yeah, there's a free upgrade for every car. You could take your car and it will be upgraded. I guess it was something with a circuit board or something that...
PSA to anyone who owns a Kia, by the way.
Anyone who had to, because there's certain models, certain years, I feel like everyone got a letter. Hopefully you did it. Otherwise, you might not have a Kia one morning. Dude, my car, I will never buy a Kia again.
I'm surprised you even did in the first place.
Well, so the only reason I bought my car was because per what I could find, it had the largest cargo space inside. And I needed all that cargo space because that was my moving vehicle whenever I was going from the East Coast to the West Coast. It was just my car, my older car was the Scion XA, which is a tiny little shoebox. And it was rough. It was having trouble living. I mean, I had it for like 13, 14 years with no problems, but it was a cheaper car, and you could tell because the metal was corroding from the salt during wintertime. And there's like a hit and run on my car once. That was fun to walk out to going to work. And it was all wobbly on the tires and stuff now. And it was time to let go. So I had to get this car. I never would have bought a Kia in the first place, but I needed a moving vehicle, and there's the more cheaper option to just do that and not have to get a giant truck and tow my old car. So like after a year of having it, then there's a warranty, or not a warranty, a recall slip thing of, hey, your car might catch on fire at some point just because.
I remember that too.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Just for existing.
Yeah, if you see this light come on, pull over and get out because it's probably going to go up in flames. And there's nothing you can do to fix that either. It's like you have to wait for that light to come on.
At that point, it's just a coin toss of like, is this going to be a fire or is this the actual warning of whatever it is?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just waiting, like, aside from walking down, going to work to, like, oh, is my car even going to be there? There's also that worry of, oh, is my car going to be a burnt crisp whenever I go down to go to work one day? Because it's not even when it's running. It's just, it could just catch on fire just sitting there. When it feels like it doesn't want to live anymore, it can go up into flames.
I'll unalive myself right now.
What?
I will unalive myself right now.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, my brain did not understand what you just said.
Boomer alert.
So I have a whole pile of papers that are just recalls for my car in case anything happens at some point. I have this pile of stuff like, yeah, I mean, I was warned that this is going to happen.
I have this, and I have this, and I have this. So let's fix this all now.
Well, and that's the thing is, it's things that they can't fix now until something happens with it.
That's kind of dumb. Because I know for me, they're like, oh, like this might happen to you. Bring it in now. Even when I got my car, the Starlink thing didn't work because like this was all new Subarus. The Starlink system wasn't set up correctly on these out of the factory. And so it was either I hold on or they hold it back from shipping it out to me.
Oh.
Or they ship it out, but then I have to give it back to them after buying it, like after taking it home. And that's what happened to me. I took it home and the next day they called and they're like, yeah, your Starlink system needs to be updated. And they just came over to my place and just picked it up, did whatever they did, and dropped it back off.
Nice.
Yeah. It's time for you to get a Subaru.
Which will probably be my next car, to be honest.
Yay.
It's crazy, too, of how did we get to the point where, like, Tesla's the new BMW?
Yeah. Because at least now with BMWs, I have, like, some sort of expectation of how they will act. And so I just try to stay away. But Teslas are, like, a hit and miss. Like, you'll find people who are, like, the normal drivers, but then you'll find people who just want to, like, kill everybody on the road.
I've yet to see a normal Tesla driver. Those people are just going everywhere, just not following any rules, speeding and cutting people off.
Although there's one thing I do like about them, and I think it's very cool, where you can start it and it will drive up to you wherever you are.
No, thank you.
I do like that feature. And if at some point, if it comes to the Subaru, I will be very happily updating my system on that one.
It's raining. Can you come get me, please?
But yeah, you're right. Like, I've rarely ever met anyone who has been a normal Tesla driver.
And it's weird, too, because I feel like the BMW drivers are now calming down. Or maybe just in comparison to Teslas, now they seem normal.
I feel like there's such a hype with Tesla now that they want to, like, people just want to show off what they have, especially with that ugly-ass Cybertruck.
Oh my god, I just saw one the other day.
I saw one too. It looks even uglier in person.
It's the funniest thing in the world.
And it's, why is it always like, the people who you would imagine with a lifted truck and all like these lifted trucks all decked out with shit that no one needs. I see them now in Cybertrucks and I'm like, compensating.
Yeah. Like in pictures, I'm like, this looks terrible. When you see one in person, if anyone out there has seen one in person, it's even worse somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it could be worse in person than it does in the video.
It looks like a car from Minecraft, honestly.
I've always said it looks like a PS1 graphic.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that too.
Like they don't have the polygons to make the full car, so that's what they came up with. And like the people like defending this thing nonstop.
It's the stupidest thing ever.
It's almost to the point of being a cult, I think.
I feel like it already has. And there are things I can't talk about because of what I do for work.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the most annoying thing ever.
Like the whole thing, did you see what the carrots in the Cybertruck?
No.
So with the hood of this thing,
Okay.
it can come down, like it comes down automatically, kind of like the back of your car does. You push a button, it comes down.
Okay.
There's no sensors in it to detect when there's something in between the door and not.
Mm-hmm.
And now that it's stainless steel, people are putting carrots in there and they're using that as a chopping board of when the hood's coming down, it's cutting the carrots and slicing them.
That is hilarious.
And same with the door. I think the main door itself. Someone tested it, like one of these Elon supporters, and they put their fingers into the thing to show like, oh, it will go back up. And it didn't. And I'm pretty sure it like broke some of their fingers because of how much pressure was on it.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah, and you don't need to like support every little thing about this company.
Exactly. These Elon stans are like the most annoying people in the world.
Kinesis hot takes.
But that's like the same thing for me, at least. And I don't know about you, but what I've noticed is Honda drivers are the exact same way.
Really? I don't think I've ever...
You are in the most, apparently, as advertised, one of the safest cars ever. There is no reason for you to be driving so aggressively to the point where you're acting like you're in like a fucking Lamborghini. Like, just stop, please. Every single Honda driver I see has either been riding my ass for no reason. I'm going like 64. I'm giving you 4 extra miles an hour on the freeway. Be grateful, first of all. Secondly, there is no reason for you to be zooming in and out through traffic at fucking 7:30 in the morning when there's literally no one on the road.
And it's weird that you compare that to Lamborghini because where we live, we see Lamborghinis and Ferraris a lot. I feel like those are the more safer people driving. I've never seen them be reckless.
And I get that because of how, or what the car is and how much it costs.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, a family car is a Honda. Any car you picture, if you think family car, Honda, Toyota, whatever. Like, okay, I get the Type R because that's a sports car, in a sense.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, you can look it up. But I get that. Okay, like, that's fine. There's a certain expectation when you see a car like that. But to see a CRV or a Pilot or like a fucking sedan, a normal one, acting like they fucking own the road, like, just please stay in your lane.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
It's the craziest thing too. I just got behind, I don't know, have you heard of Fisker Ocean?
Yes.
It's, for those who don't know, it's an all-electric car. The company's pretty much going bankrupt at this point, and they might not even be a company soon, mainly because there's a lot of like safety concerns and problems. I got behind one the other day, and I had to like let out like, oh no, but like kind of laugh at the same time, like, oh, you're driving this piece of shit car that is probably out to kill you because it isn't running properly. And it's unfortunate because that's a really nice looking car, I think.
Yeah. I saw a Polestar the other day.
I don't know what those are.
They look really nice.
A Polestar?
Mm-hmm. They're like $73,000 for the SUV, and I'm like, yeah, no thank you.
I mean, for that cause, you can just get a Cybertruck.
Yeah, really. But you have to be stupid to get one of those.
Yeah, those are really nice too. I'm just looking them up now.
That's funny though, because I just went on their website, and the first thing it asked me is like, enable your cookies or whatever. And then there's a thing there that just said, please don't sell my personal data. And I'm like, yeah. How is that even a question?
Why is that an option?
Exactly.
It's crazy too that we're in this world where these electric car companies, like so many are coming out now to try to compete with Tesla, that they're not done, more or less.
See, they're doing that, but they're not building the infrastructure for it.
Not at all. And it's going to be a requirement soon that everyone owns car companies have to make electric cars only by a certain date.
Mm-hmm. At least in Washington, by 2030, you cannot sell a gas-powered vehicle.
From the manufacturers, right?
Right. You can sell older cars, but 2030 models have to be all electric.
My first thought is, where's all the charging points for all these?
First of all, you have 6 years to develop all the infrastructure for this.
And we have like 0.5% done.
We don't even have anything done.
If you count like the charging points at a Walmart.
That's like what, 4?
Yeah.
No, because like Tesla chargers are built specifically for Teslas.
Oh, really? That's not for everyone.
No.
How did that get passed?
Yeah. At least I don't think so, but I remember seeing like Tesla chargers are specifically designed to charge Tesla vehicles.
So Tesla is like the Apple of the car company.
Pretty much, yeah.
That tracks.
Can we just go off onto an island somewhere and just not see anything, please? No, but that's like with road trips. You don't have superchargers at a major city.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this one TikTok of like this one guy who's like on a road trip, or he was like moving or something, but he was in a Tesla and he's like, never do this again. Because he was at a supercharger, or like he was really close to a supercharger. He was stranded on the road. He was like, the next supercharger is like, 10 minutes away? And I can't even get there. Like, I have to go through these like little grocery store areas where the charging is like limited hours.
Oh, is that the case too? I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sure you can't leave your car there overnight to charge.
Oh, no. You couldn't do that, but
I've seen like a 1 hour only
like,
or like whatever. I've seen those.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
It's really the case of, I want to go to this state on a road trip, but you got to plan your route very specifically, or else you're not going to make it to where you want to go.
Exactly, yeah. And like, what if because like at least with gas, you can like go get some if you're stranded on the freeway.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do if you're stranded on the freeway in an electric vehicle?
I just imagine one of those like external power supplies you have for phones. And you just like pull a big one out of your trunk and like plug it into the car to charge up the battery a little bit.
Crazy.
That's a very good point. Because if you call AAA, like, hey, I need a charge.
What do you want us to do about it?
I wonder if that's something that we could do of how you have jumper cables. Is there a way you could plug jumper cables into a charging point? That'd be interesting.
I think there might be. We're kind of dumb on this, so we're just ranting. Don't take anything we say for face value.
Yeah, we don't have electric cars. You know the biggest thing too? I get that it's like the future, but think about your phone. And whenever eventually your battery's going to die. It's not going to last forever. Batteries can't last forever.
Right.
To replace, at least with my last phone that completely died on me for other reasons, but whenever they replaced the battery, it was like $200 or $300.
Oof.
And that's just because of like nowadays the battery's built into the screen, so you can't buy a new battery without buying a new screen as well. So it's about $200, $300. Imagine that scaled up to a car now, because the battery's not going to last forever.
Mm-hmm.
Even our batteries in our normal cars, that its only function is just to like get the car turned on and like keep some things running. Those things die after 5, 6 years.
Right.
When you have an electric car that only runs on batteries and nothing else, how expensive is that going to be when it comes time to replace your batteries?
I can't imagine.
We're going to play a game here.
I like games.
Okay, so this is just the first one I found.
Okay.
I don't know how accurate this is. If you had to take a guess, you just bought a car and then it comes time to replace your battery. How much do you think it's going to cost you to replace it?
$15,000.
You are spot on. It's going to be $15,000.
Seriously?
Yes.
My first guess was 30, but I was like, wait, that might be too much considering that's the price of a new car.
It says the range is between 5 to 20,000 for batteries.
Oh, okay.
But that's just for the battery. It's not including labor costs on top of that.
Right.
So you're paying almost a brand new car every time you need to replace your battery.
That's annoying. And then like with everything like increasing in prices, how do you expect anyone to like even survive?
Yeah.
I'm not going to have $15,000 just lying around for the time where I don't know when my battery's going to die.
I think the argument you could make is that you're keeping your car, but you're paying a battery to keep your car that you already have, I guess.
I guess.
So you're not wasting the material of the used car when you get a new car, because the car is staying the same. So you're essentially just reusing the material of the car itself. But it's all these people who are like, oh yeah, we're saving money by having electric cars. No.
You're really not.
Yeah, when that time comes around, you are screwed. I don't know anyone who owns an electric car.
I know some people at work who do. They just don't drive it into work.
You need to ask them if they're aware of that cost.
I'll see.
Did they consider that cost before buying the? And we need to know for like the next episode because I'm so curious
Yeah,
if that's even something that is considered. Is that something that they talk about to you as they sell you the car?
I'll ask.
Try to find a good way to phrase it without
being very like aggressive about it.
Do you realize you're stupid? Oh boy. Prior to getting into this episode, I was really hungry.
That just piqued my interest. I'm always hungry.
Have you ever been so hungry that when you eat something, it's like the most amazing food to ever touch your tongue?
Yes, always.
I had always, every time I eat something.
I live to eat.
This morning I had a strawberry.
You had one strawberry, okay.
One strawberry, and it was like heaven. It was the most delicious strawberry I've ever had. I'm like, I don't know if this is just a very good strawberry or if I'm so hungry that it made it the most amazing food.
You know what I've realized? Strawberries with a white center aren't as good as a pure red inside strawberry.
I just recently saw pure red strawberries. I never even knew that was a thing.
And apparently those are the more like, that's when you want to like pick strawberries.
Interesting. Yeah, that I just, within the last few weeks, I've noticed those.
Like the first time I had it, my eyes grew when I bit into it. I was like, this is the best thing ever.
But then what was your experiences like with the most amazing food after not eating for so long?
It wasn't because of hunger. It was because of never having it. You and I went to a Thai spot and I tried Thai tea for the first time. And that was the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm. Thai teas. If you're ever in a Thai restaurant, get a Thai tea.
I second that now.
And horchata.
Oh, yes.
What was the way you described it? Is like cinnamon toast crunch milk or something like that?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Which I never thought of it in that sense until you said it. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess you're right then. The only time I remember like it actually happening was back in high school. I was working at McDonald's. It's probably a weekend or something, and I didn't have food all day. I can't remember why, but just didn't eat. So after my shift, it was very busy, so I don't even think I got a break, or it wasn't a long enough shift to get a break.
Aww.
And afterwards, I was able to get a meal, and I got a crispy chicken sandwich.
Oh, okay.
And never had one before while working there. And I just one bite, and I'm like, this is the most phenomenal sandwich I've ever tasted. Every single bite, I was in heaven, just getting through this sandwich, and it tasted so good. So the next day, I'm at my shift, and I'm like, I'm going to get that crispy chicken sandwich. It's so good. And that second one, I'm like, this is disappointing. This is not good at all.
Remember when those were $1?
Crispy chicken? No, you're thinking of the McChickens.
Oh, the big ones. I saw a video the other day of some lady spending like $200 at a McDonald's.
Getting what?
Food for her family, I guess.
Wow.
At that point, I'm like, go to a nice restaurant if you're going to spend that kind of money.
Exactly. I think fast food places are forgetting what they are. It's like, oh, we can raise our prices to whatever we want. People are going to
come here anyway.
It's like, no, there's a limit.
Really not, no.
There's like, whenever I first moved out there, I even wanted to go to a Wendy's.
Okay.
Just because I didn't feel like eating or cooking. So I'm like, I'm just going to go to Wendy's. We actually had the same experience too, where you and I just went to get fries and that's it. And we waited for what, 40 minutes, 45 minutes just for fries.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my experience even prior to that when you and I went once, where I wanted to get a meal and I was sitting in the drive-thru for maybe 45, 50, maybe an hour even waiting to get the food. I'm like, when has fast food become
slow food?
Yeah. I feel like restaurants move faster than this.
Exactly. Because, like, at least with fast food restaurants, you have a time limit of when to get food out. So are you just, like, blatantly ignoring that? Or is that not even a thing anymore?
Or it's just the fact that kids are there and they just don't care anymore.
That's true. But, I mean, even then, when I used to work there, it was always, like, kicked into our asses that we had to get everything out by a certain time. I think it was like 2 minutes, 45 seconds. And we had a timer up on our ceiling.
No.
Every single order had to be out by then. And I was like, no, 3 minutes is fine. I'll do that. I'm not doing 2:45. Fuck no.
Screw your 15 minutes or seconds.
15 minutes, I wish.
Did you see that video of like the lady at the fast food place that every time a car left, she would throw a pot out the window? with the rope tied to it?
No.
Yeah, so apparently, like, someone recorded her, and they're like, what the hell is this employee doing? After every single car, she's throwing this pot out the window and pulling it back to the window. And here, what they were doing was they were triggering the times for the drive-through.
Oh.
So when a car left, she would throw out a can and like pass it by to make it seem like another car went by and like speed up their times to be even faster than what they were.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Loopholes.
Cheating the system.
There you go. How did we get here?
I don't know, but we didn't cover anything that I had. So if you like that episode of us never getting to the points we wanted to talk to you about, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Go follow our Instagram over at Intersint Pod.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week.
Bye.